transition into like the clothing aspect as well, because when we talk about things being unregulated, and this is another thing that I read about, was specifically it was either leggings or yoga pants, and it was a certain brand that they have forever chemicals, and they were like basically concentrated in like the seam, like the crotch region of the pants, which is a very vulnerable place for absorption for people. And again, it's completely unregulated. People don't know it's there, and it almost seems like it's done on purpose.
Yeah, I I just started diving into clean clothing stuff about a year ago. So everything I'm wearing right now is cotton. And that's where I've been trying to recommend people toward now because yeah, if you're wearing things that are made of polyester or acrylic or spandex, those are all chemicals that are based out on petroleum, like black oil. And if you've ever heard of like an oil spill into a natural ecosystem, it kills things. Like it's not a healthy thing for a natural ecosystem, but a lot of our clothing is made of that, and especially our clothing for working out when our pores are opening to sweat. It's like people are working out for health benefits, but they're wearing like the tight leggings made of straight polyester and they're just bringing in petroleum into their system. And yeah, they're probably getting a net positive from working out in the moment, but like you said, these are forever chemicals. It's really hard for your body to get rid of them. So they're going to be pumping through your bloodstream. And yeah, what it does is put your body in a really high stress state, because your body is getting damage from the workout, which is how working out works. You damage your body and then you heal from it, and then your muscles get bigger, or your cardiovascular system gets more efficient. But then it's also trying to get rid of these unnatural chemicals, and so your body is kind of stuck between a rock and a hard place, and you won't heal as efficiently from the exercise. You won't be able to get rid of these microplastics and these chemicals out of your body. So yeah, your workouts literally are less fruitful because you're wearing plastic and you're wearing petroleum-based chemicals in your clothing. So
Yeah, and not only is it less fruitful, like you to jump kind of back on the conspiracy thing, is like it's going to keep you sick. It's going to cause health issues to which starts the cycle, right? Now I got to go to the doctor who's going to give me this pill for this very important problem I have. But what the doctor's not going to tell you is in 5 years, you're going to have another very important problem that needs this other pill caused by the pill I just gave you. So, I mean, so if you want to go down the conspiracy kind of road, I think that's where it's going to lead you. Uh, yeah, so it starts that cycle, and I think it's just amazing that this stuff's not regulated, and that somebody on like social media has to find it out and then put it out there, and then everybody's like, oh my god, why didn't anybody else tell us about this? Why does some guy have to figure this out? And then it's really concerning in some
yeah,
aspect.
yeah, it is. And the more concerning part is that most of this stuff is only not regulated in the United States where we live. Because if you're thinking about like food, the artificial colorings that we use here are banned in Europe. So like red 40 and yellow 6. Like you can't put those in food just across the ocean because they're harmful. But here it's like, yeah, just everything is bright red, everything's yellow, everything's just they're appetizing colors. But yeah, that's another thing to stay away from. And I don't know if European countries are regulating clothing materials yet, but I do know that a lot of Europeans just as like a tradition, more of a heritage thing, wear more cotton, more wool, more linen, more silk. They just wear, and this goes for Asia too, and Africa too. Like just anywhere that isn't the United States, anything that isn't North America, really. We wear so much more plastic, um, and it's kind of showing because we have the most active medical system. We have the most money-making medical system. And yeah, if you just look into this stuff for a little bit, the dots start to connect and you'll start to look like that, like a crazy guy with like a conspiracy board. But it's not really that crazy if you think about it.
Yeah, and when you talk about these red dyes, like there's research out there that it causes like ADHD in kids, and it causes just like kids to act crazy. But every single thing that's marketed for kids is red with this stuff in it on purpose, which I don't know. Like I said, like you said, we can put all this stuff on a board and be like, oh man, maybe we are part of one huge conspiracy, you know?
Yeah, and yeah, so for example, red 3 has been acknowledged by the FDA to be a thyroid carcinogen in animal testing. So if you if you would just connect the dots here, it's probably also a thyroid carcinogen in people who are also animals. And your thyroid has a ton to do with hormone function. So it's like this huge lineup of issues that are just going to start to cascade. You're going to have hormone issues, going to be infertile, which we have an issue with in this country as well. And it's all these colors are linked to behavioral problems, migraine triggers, ADHD and hyperactivity. And I mean, people are allergic to them too, which I mean, they don't care. They'll sell you an EpiPen. Like they want you allergic to things that they're selling because then you have to buy another thing to save you from it. So yeah, it's insane. And it's in everything. Like it's in our cereals, it's in our breakfast foods, it's in candy. It's even in like health foods like flavored dairy products. Like you're drinking strawberry milk. Guess what? There's red 40 and red 3 in that. It's in like Gatorade, which is like peak health. Like
Yeah,
Gatorade, I stay away from Gatorade now because it's colored and I mean, it's not artificially sweetened, I suppose, because corn syrup is from a plant, but like that's not the sweetener that you want. So yeah, and it's even in like our hygiene products too. If you if your kid is using like bubble gum toothpaste, it's pink and it's colored with red 40, which is messing with your kid's hormones. It's messing with your kid's neurological function. Like so everything is just and actually this is a big one. You know the like the pink amoxicillin that you would get if you had an infection?
yeah,
That's colored with red 40. Like it's so bad and it's such an ingrained thing in our society. Like everything needs to be colored something and flavored something so people will want it. And yeah, it's like one of these moments like you don't even know what to say or do, you know?
right. And I've talked about this with other people on the podcast too, where when you go to the doctor, those should be the first two questions. Tell me about your exercise and your diet.
Yeah.
Then they should be able from there to be like, okay, remove this because that might be causing this because this research says that. But it seems like it's just we're just going to over medicate people, and I don't know that, and this is a discussion I've had in the past. You don't know if it's the doctor or if it's the entire program that they're being taught. Somebody presents with this, hit them with this, so it may just be the entire system from the top down is completely flawed. And you and I both know it's hard to revamp an entire system, especially something that big, and it's just never going to get done. So this is what we live with, and we've got to try to find ways on our own to deal with it. And that's basically what you're doing with this program.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I was gonna try to like tie this all back, all this conspiracy theory talk back to, yeah, there are people like me, there are people like you who are out here spreading information about how to use natural things to get the same benefits that are touted from like the medical system or the normal exercise system or even like shoe companies um, that are supposed to keep you safe and healthy, but they have drawbacks that are going to lead to issues that you don't want. So we can get all the benefits of XYZ without all of the negatives that come with them. And that's like the mission statement behind what we do is you can just subtract the negatives, amplify the positives, and then you will start to move pain free again, which
Mhm.
that's the mission.